This is Inside Badger Football with head coach Trey Shucker. Financial support for Inside Badger Football comes from Turner & Turner, attorneys at law. Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments. The accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler. Welch Funeral Home. Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance. Southern Bancorp. Shelter Insurance. Southwest Sporting Goods. Taylor King and Associates. Mary and Martha's Florists and Gifts. Price and Company. Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker. Eccles, Thompson and Kneebone. EasyBins.com. And Farm Bureau Insurance of Clark County. The host of Inside Badger Football is Preston Crowder.
Hello and welcome to week one of Inside Badger Football with head coach Trey Shucker. Coach, welcome to Arkadelphia. It's got to be just a great feeling to finally have your first game under your belt, and even better that you got a big win on the road against a very good football team.
Absolutely. It's very exciting. It's exciting to be here in Arkadelphia. It's a great place to call home. Really excited last Friday with how we came out on top. You know, it was a really hard-fought win. We were able to finish with a win.
Yeah, and it was a very exciting game. Went to overtime. You did come away with the victory, 21-20. So just talk about some challenges, you know, prepping for that game really all throughout the summer and the week leading up to the game against Camden. You know, we have the COVID restrictions. It's a really tough way to kind of get prepared for a first game. You did have the benefit game against Lake Hamilton, but just talk about how you prepared against Camden Fairview.
Yeah, it was really difficult this summer just because we weren't able to have team camps, 7-on-7s, those things that you normally have during the summer to prepare and kind of lead up to the season. So we were really limited in the amount of, I guess, football that we were able to do this summer. So we really had 4 true practices leading up to Camden. And like you said, we had the benefit game last week with Lake Hamilton, but it's a little bit different than it's been in the past, and it's different for everybody. We've got to adjust to certain things, and with the screening process of how it goes, it just takes a little bit longer, and that's all it is. But it's been great.
Yeah, awesome. So you know, it's a new coaching staff, mostly new coaching staff. You have only 3 players on offense, starters returning, and 5 defensive starters returning. So just talk a little bit about how your players have bought into your new system under your coaching staff.
Absolutely. We've done a great job. The kids have done a great job of buying into what we're trying to do. It's new to them. It's new to everybody, even the ones that are returning. But they've done a great job of handling it and progressing. You know, when you don't have as many people returning, it kind of allows some of those other players that didn't get as much playing time last year to get on the field, and they understand that, and they understand the role of what they've got to do to be a good player. Awesome.
So we're going to hop into these highlights here and take a look at your first win as the head coach of the Arkadelphia Badgers. So you guys are receiving the opening kickoff. Low kick here to you and down at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, really wish we could have got a return right there, had our knee on the ground.
So here in the opening 2 plays, you gave it to Jason Davis, 2 runs right up the gut. Were you trying to set a tone early?
Trying to set a tone, trying to establish the run. You know, Jason goes both ways, trying to get him the ball in a fresh situation.
Good job by
right
Buster
there. We
Thomas.
knew Camden's aggressive on defense. Their defensive line's aggressive, so just drew them off sides right there.
And this is a great run here by Buster Thomas. Almost got to the first down marker, and then that sets you up to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah. And I'm an aggressive play caller. I'm going to go for it on 4th down in the right situation. I'm not afraid to do that. I trust our players to get a first down. Took a shot right there. Really wish we could have had that one. Just kind of went through our hands.
And there we see it again, drawing the Cardinals offside again. That's 2 early here in the first quarter.
This was a 4th down call. One that I wish I could have had back. I wish we'd have went the other way with it. If we'd have went the other way, we'd have been able to make our calls, and everything probably would have worked out a little bit better for us. But right there, trying to get to the football. Anytime they put the football on the ground, we've got to get to it.
And we did see that a lot And here's the big hit here by number 14, Kalen Jones.
Yeah. Kalen being able to read the ball right there, getting to it, able to make a clean hit. I know some people might have argued that was targeting, but that's actually a clean hit, leading with the shoulder in the target area.
And the bad punt here sets you up with good field position for your second series of the game.
Yeah. Another shot that we took early. Wish we could have connected. I feel like if we could have connected on that one, it probably would have helped our drive out and probably would have come out with some points.
And here's the talented running back, Eric Hall for the Cardinals. Talk about their running backs. They are really talented for the Cardinals.
They are very talented running backs, and they've got a stable of them at Camden, which we knew that going into it. We knew that we had to wrap up and get those guys on the ground.
Great read there by your defense. And the Cardinals are in the red zone here. Now talk about this play. It looks to have been a missed false start there by the running back, but a great coverage there by your defense to knock away the possible touchdown pass.
That's right. It's a good job just continuing the play, being able to, even though it was a confusion, being able to continue the play and make sure that they don't score.
Right. And there's another bad snap. We saw the Cardinals do that a few times. They did not kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Right.
Big breaks for you guys.
Yeah.
Buster Thomas receiving the snap. Had to get that one away. And the defensive line of the Cardinals is very big up front. Your offensive line, you do have a young offensive line, so it's a really tall task the other night for them to go up against the Cardinals' defensive line.
It was, and everybody on our front five, they didn't get a lot of playing time last year, so going against a big defensive line like that was a really good test for us early.
Now the bad punt did set the Cardinals up for a short field, but they did miss the PAT, which proved to be big later on in the game.
It's right there, everything broke down. One of the biggest things that we can take away from Friday was learning how to get the ball out of our hands quick. We've got to get the ball, make our reads quicker, get the ball out of our hands quicker. Had a drop pass right there. Wish we really could have connected on that one also. That was another play that kind of stalled our drive early in the game.
This time a better punt from Thomas. And this is really the first time Camden has been really backed up in their own territory here.
It's right there we get out leveraged by our outside backer. And didn't take very good angles from our secondary. One of the things that we're working on this week.
That's a great tackle there.
Like I said earlier, one of the biggest things with those running backs is you got to wrap up and get them on the ground. So that was a good job right there by our linebacker.
Now here's a pretty good punt return here from Kyler Pfeiffer.
Kyler Pfeiffer's electric. Anytime the ball's in his hands, anything can happen.
Yeah. Really talented receiver for you as well. Handed off to Jayshon Davis, and he just seemed like he really couldn't get going the other night. But again, a very big defensive line for the Cardinals.
Very big defensive line. Like I said, it's a very good test for us early. All four of them, very, very good football players.
So now here we're in the second quarter. Cardinals with the ball back. Read option almost recovered a fumble there, bounced right back up to him. Kind of a fortunate bounce there for Camden Fairview.
It was, but anytime the football's on the ground, we've got to get to it and we've got to come up with it.
There you see another bad snap, and a good job by your defense of bringing their quarterback down and resulting in a third down play. Another good job getting pressure on the quarterback, but he gets out of the pocket, scrambles, and nearly gets the first down, sets him up for 4th and short.
Yeah.
And that play kind of hurts. Do you think the third down play is the big one on that series right there, letting them have a 4th and short?
That third down is definitely the play. We had them, in a manageable territory where if we make a big play on that third down, it's not as easy to convert that 4th.
And that's a great tackle by number 22, Trey Bledsoe. Talk a little bit about him.
Trey Bledsoe, he's a fiery defensive player for us. Gets after the ball. I mean, he just has a knack for getting to the football and getting it on the ground. It's a great job.
Now this is a big play here, 4th down. Really could have changed the game, but good coverage there to push the receiver out of bounds and result in a turnover on downs.
Yeah, Ollie does a great job of taking away the receiver space, not giving him room to get a foot down.
So the Cardinals do receive the opening kickoff in the second half, but your defense comes up big. They played a really good first quarter, came out strong in the second, and resulted in a 3-and-out.
That's right. That's what I like seeing right there, gang tackles, multiple defensive players getting to the football. as many white jerseys as we can get to the football. That's what we want.
There's a third down play, good coverage there as your team gets the ball back. And a great pass there to Alex Loy from Buster Thomas.
That's part of getting the football out of our hands quick, getting it to our guys in space. Right there, I wish he would have got a foot in the ground and got upfield. He probably could have got a couple more yards. But right here, we went for it on fourth down. Braylon Bailey in the running back spot in this play did a great job of getting into his check down. Buster found him. We're able to make a big play out of it.
And that's the big play on this drive. And then we see Buster Thomas kind of making something happen, rolling out, making a pass for a second and short. And then you can see in this next play here, making something happen with his legs, getting into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game.
Buster's a playmaker. Anytime he gets the ball out in space, anything can happen.
And you did make the PAT there, so you do have a 7-6 lead. And like we said, the missed extra point for the Cardinals in the first quarter comes up big here as the game progresses. So almost an interception there.
That's one of the things that we try to do on defense is disrupt the quarterback, not giving him time to throw. And so a lot of his throws, as you see, he's getting pressured. He's trying to get the ball out of his hands quick, unable to be accurate with the football.
But your defense coming out strong in the second half, 2 straight 3-and-outs. That's got to be a big tone setter for the second half.
Absolutely. Right here, we're just trying to get a couple quick throws, kind of keep the drive moving.
Penalty results in 3rd and 5, incomplete, but you will go for it on 4th down again. This is a huge play in the game.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not afraid to go for it on 4th down. If I feel good about it, feel good about how they're lining up to us, I'm not afraid to do it. Then Eric Cervantes comes back in, kicks the PAT.
So you're up 14-6. Got to feel good about the way you've come out in the third quarter, especially offensively scoring on your first 2 drives, whereas in the first quarter you really couldn't get much going against the Cardinals.
That's right. Didn't have as many penalties those first 2 drives in the second half. That's partly why we kind of stalled our drives in the first half. We had too many penalties. Good coverage right there by our corners.
Good pressure here.
Getting pressure on the quarterback, and that's what we try to do on defense. We're trying to disrupt the quarterback, get to the football.
So that's 3 straight possessions where they've had to punt. Pfeiffer with the punt return. Make something happen after kind of muffing the punt a little bit. Out to the 36, send you up for another drive here.
That's right. It's right there. Might not have been the best read. Those defensive ends were squeezing hard all game, so he's just trying to keep them honest. It just didn't work out for him. Right here, we set up a running back screen. Like I said, those defensive ends getting upfield so hard, trying to get the ball out around them.
So you do have to punt. But here's when we really start seeing the Cardinals go to their running game, really at the end of the third quarter, into the fourth quarter, just handing it off seemed like every time they called a play.
Yeah, and as the game got going, I think we kind of started losing our energy. And I think, both sides were dealing with that. We had some kids cramping up, but so that we weren't able to stop the run as well as we did in the first half.
So another bad snap. We weren't able to jump on that one. Sets up another play for the Cardinals. Almost an interception there.
Right.
But luckily enough, the ball was
good job recognizing the running back screen.
And again, good pressure on the quarterback, just like what you've been talking about you want to do.
Elijah Wheeler, great football player. He's a big senior leader for us on that defense.
Tough run here for Jayshon Davis. It would have been really easy for him to kind of just let the defensive line of the Cardinals take him after the first quarter, but came back in the fourth quarter and with a big run there.
Absolutely. So 3rd and short, the way they're lined, we're going to allow us to get the ball out to our outside receiver, letting him get the first down.
3rd down play, almost
got a foot in right there. If we were able to get the ball out a little bit quicker, probably would have been able to do that. Better punt by Buster right here.
Good roll too, all the way down their 15-yard line. And here's their running back, Eric Hall, again, very talented, just very quick. They have 3 guys, the Cardinals do, that can run a 4.5, so they are athletic and very talented.
Very talented backs. Like you said, they've got 3 of them that can go, and they were able to just roll those guys in and keep them fresh all game.
So they are able to push the ball down the field through here, and they hand it off to Clardy for the touchdown, and they do go for the 2-point conversion and are able to get it and tie the game up at 14.
Yeah, at the end of this drive, we were pretty tired on defense. Might have been a good idea to maybe call a timeout, kind of talk about the situation. But
good, strong run there by Braylon Bailey.
Braylon Bailey did a great job coming in and playing that running back spot. He started the game at receiver, was able to come in at that running back spot and keep the ball moving forward.
Another good punt there by Buster. Maybe would have liked to get a little bit more of a roll, but still a good punt down near their own 25.
That's right.
And be down 3.
And here we see him just handing it off again, pushing the pile for another first down. What were you telling your defense there in the fourth quarter as they started to hand the ball off more and more to their running backs?
Trust their technique and do the things. You know, when you're tired in the game, technique comes and becomes a big factor. And so I'm telling my defense, just play with your technique, get to the football, trust your eyes and trust your reads.
And that's a great tackle there by your defensive end once again. Another great tackle, two plays in a row, finally starting to maybe slow down that running attack for the Cardinals.
Braylon Bailey getting into his check down from the running back spot, able to keep the ball moving forward. Just a missed assignment up front. Didn't make a call that would have accounted for that linebacker coming through.
Now talk about this play call. This was a very gutsy play call at the end of the game, down near 2, maybe inside 2 minutes, and you go for it on 4th down in your own territory. What's your thought process through that? You didn't score, but it ran time off the clock, and you were able to pin them down in their own territory.
Right there. I'm just really trying to make something happen. We had Camden called a timeout, and I was able to talk to my guys in that timeout. You know, I was like, we got to make something happen. I trust my guys to get a first down right there. But
so after the sack, Camden really just is content with overtime, runs out the clock. You're headed to overtime here, and the Cardinals do get the ball first. A break for you to have a chance to respond to whatever they do.
Yeah, we were able to win the coin toss. Of course, we're going to choose to be on defense first, and you know, we weren't able to keep Camden out, so we got the ball second. We were able to go score.
And again, we see the kicking game come up big here as they miss the PAT, resulting in you guys having a chance to score and complete the PAT to win the football game.
Yeah, this was huge for us. So we knew that if we could score, all we had to do was kick the PAT. Try to sprint out right here. It's well covered. We knew that they were going to try to bring some pressure, so we drew them off sides again.
Huge play right there, huge play.
Kind of allowed us to see what they were thinking about doing, just to kind of make sure that we knew how they were going to line up. We were able to go to our running back screen again and get the ball in the end zone. And then Eric Cervantes with the game winner PAT, nailed it. Still, we didn't block it very well, but he was able to come in clutch and make sure it got through the uprights.
Yeah, well, that's just a big win. Again, new coaching staff, young football team, a huge win in your first game on the road against a good team against the Cardinals. Just an absolutely huge win. So just talk a little bit about how your team can improve going into next week, getting ready for the Hot Springs Trojans.
And like you said, Camden's a great team. They really are. They're going to have a great season. One of the things that we can improve on moving forward is, you know, cutting down on the penalties that we had in the first half. And we continue to have in the second half, just not as many in certain situations. But that's one of the biggest things I can take away from Friday is cutting down on those penalties. On offense, you know, we had quite a few holding calls. Their defensive front's very big, very physical, very fast. I think some of that was partly due to that. But
so next week you are facing off against the Hot Springs Trojans. What's the game plan for them? How are we going to attack them in week 1, I guess, of the season?
Hot Springs is a good football team also. They're very fast, they're athletic. Biggest thing is trying to cut down on those penalties, get back to the fundamentals of what we're trying to do on offense and trying to do on defense and playing with more technique, more sound.
So we will go into the players of the game. These are the Blake Bell, Edward Jones players of the week. The offensive player of the week, Braylon Bailey. Defensive player of the week, Elijah Wheeler. And special teams, Eric Cervantes. Just touch on a little bit of each one of those guys and what they did to help come away with a win this week.
Yeah, on offense, is Braylon Bailey. Started the game at receiver. He's also our next running back in the game. We're able to put him at that running back spot, and he came in and filled that role really well. But he had 7 rushes for 10 yards, 4 catches for 79 yards, and a touchdown. So he had 89 yards total on the night on offense. Was able to play multiple roles and finish that overtime with a touchdown.
All right, so Elijah Wheeler, Defensive Player of the Week. How did he help contribute this week?
He did a great job, disrupting the quarterback. He's one of those guys where you don't always notice him if he's, not making the tackle. But he had 9 tackles, 2 for sacks, and 3 tackles for losses. And he's always in the quarterback's face. He's our motor on defense, and those offensive linemen better account for him.
Yeah. Okay, so again, Special Teams Player of the Week, Eric Cervantes, the game-winning PAT, 3 for 3 on the night on PATs. The game winner, again, just talk about how big it is to have the PAT, have the game really on your foot at the end of the game and come away putting the PAT right through the upright.
Well, special teams is huge, and in this situation, it won us the game. But Eric Cervantes, great job coming in. He made all 3 of his PATs. That last one was a big pressure situation for him, and he's not been in a situation like that before, and I was very pleased with how he handled it.
And we have the Southwest Auto Collection Spirit Award goes to Alex Turley. Coach, just talk a little bit about him and what he did to win the Spirit Award for this week.
Yeah, Alex Turley's been doing a great job for us on defense. He plays linebacker. He had 13 tackles in his first start Friday night against Camden Fairview. Played a major role in getting some of those stops during the game. Next
week, we are still going to have non-conference. What's some of the role of non-conference? How are you guys going to take non-conference? We still have 2 more non-conference games. What's really the idea of how you want your team to improve through non-conference?
Biggest thing is, we weren't able to have team camp 7-on-7, so these non-conference games are very, very big for us in the learning aspect with having a new offense and a new defense and seeing how it meshes together for the games in a game situation. Those live reps are huge for our kids right now. Our goal in non-conference is come out 3-0. Just because it's the start of the football season, we want to go into conference play with some momentum.
Okay, so we do have our first home game of the night next week against Hot Springs at home, 7 o'clock kickoff. We do have COVID restrictions, so there's not going to be as many fans allowed in the stands. Where can we find the ticket information, and how is that going to be decided for the seating arrangements for Friday night's game?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot different. We've got our stadium spaced out. We're not able to seat on every row. We're going to have a row in between each person. We're able to have 20 to 30% capacity. It's going to be different. And then you can find the ticket sales. Arkadelphia School is going to be coming out with more information about the ticket sales tonight.
Awesome. So again, you can find all your scores and updates for Badger football can be found on the Badger Athletics page or at APSD Athletics on Twitter, and again, the Badger Athletics page on Facebook. If you are not able to come to the game with the limited seating Friday night, you can log on to ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com and we'll be able to watch the live stream broadcast this Friday night. So, Coach, again, thanks for being with us. We hope to see you next week after another Badger win, and go Badgers.
Go Badgers.
Sponsors of Inside Badger Football include Shelter Insurance, Southwest Sporting Goods, Taylor King and Associates, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts, Price and Company, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles, Thompson and Kneebone, Farm Bureau Insurance of Clark County, Turner and Turner, Attorneys at Law, EasyBins.com, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, the accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning and Plyler, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, and Southern Bancorp. Inside Badger Football is produced each week by Ouachita Baptist University's Rogers Department of Communication.